works for you. Learn what works around you. As a leader, you should know all of your um, um, workers, your employees, your subordinates, your mentors. Even the Bible says that you are to know them that labor among you. You should know what makes them happy, sad. And I didn't say you have to be personal. I didn't say you have to be in their business, but you should be able to know that, this person usually has this challenges, they have that challenges, and be able to create a network of support. It will actually increase, again, productivity. It will increase. And then ask just simple questions like, what things around here, um, and have them identify workplace stresses, whether that's at church. And we're not talking about having a griping. There's a thing, a gripe session. We're not talking about that. There is and this I love this practice or this tool in psychology. It's under positive psychology, which is its own branch under psychology. And the technique is appreciative inquiry. And I love this method. And it's instead of asking what's wrong, you ask what would be perfect. Because when you start asking what is wrong and identify the challenges, you set a negative tone. Is the whole premise. So there one tool, and it works wonderfully, is when you ask them, if this was perfect, tell me what that looks like, and then you work backwards from the perfectness. You work backwards, saying, okay, if that was what was perfect, what would be the very last step for perfect? Like if it was one less than perfect, you will be fixing what? And work all the way back to today. God bless you, Zach. Work all the way back to where I currently am. What it does, if number one, it gives you your steps. You almost do everything in this exercise you're able, and of course it's not a quick exercise, but when you get through, you actually have your whole roadmap. You're actually done with actionable items, and the thing you probably need to do is put timelines. Okay, so when can this be done, the next step, and all of that. But you also create this euphoria, positive mind. What does that story narrate? Because we all learn from stories. Jesus taught in parables, stories. There is a reason. Caveman, when our first communication came through stories. Even just the little, we didn't have letters, but they wrote symbols and things that people could understand. But it connoted a story. It told a story. If we create that story of what it looks like perfectly and work backwards, we could have a check-in that creates a better positive mind, that people come to work to get away from home sometimes. I've actually witnessed that our work environment and our team environment was so good that they wanted to go have fun and blah blah blah, which is, it is what it is. But their home life was less than their work life. Isn't that awesome? We want it all to be good, but we definitely don't want, as being the leaders or the managers, for people to begrudge coming into work, to begrudge coming into our circle, to begrudge coming into church and our spheres, or our friends, you know, breaking up with us or not really wanting or dealing with us as needed basis. So I just wanted to give you some tools, some tips. I hope that this has blessed you. I hope that this has challenged you. I hope that this is giving you something that you need. That every one of us, number one, is a leader. All of us are leaders. All of us, whether we're leading ourselves, because sometimes we're the mentally challenged. Some of us, sometimes we are the depressed ones. We are the ones with the seemingly schizophrenic thoughts. And how we build our own culture is how we're going to, in turn, build the culture around us. How we create our own atmosphere is how the atmosphere around us. Hey, Roderick, how we build the atmosphere for others. We can't be a better leader to others than we are to ourselves. So I always do, as whenever I do coaching, I am the founder of Ennoblement, and we do consulting and coaching. And so one of the things, whether it's this life coaching or it's executive coaching, that I'm certified in both. God bless. But the first thing that I always want to do is give them tests. There are different, like Myers and Briggs, or there's a myriad, a plethora of different tests that help identify whether if you see some of them that have like ENTJS, or that tells you your character makeup. There's different other ones. I also administer the love language test. What is your love language? And from that I'll sit and we'll look at together, what does this mean? Go over it in your own time, digesting. When we come back, let's go over it. Let's see what that is. Because how you are, you need to know. What are your triggers? It's called emotional intelligence. What makes me tick? What brings me down? What brings me up? So that when I feel, and this is one thing that they teach, and I was actually diagnosed as manic depressed at that point. And so I had to learn what triggers me to go downward. And then be cognizant and transparent enough with myself that I can feel myself going down and catch myself. I can feel me spiraling, my thoughts running, starting to go. You control that. Bring it back. The Bible says, catch your mind, bring it back. Get your mind. You have the ability as your mind is going, is wandering, and we can feel it. But then know what actually things will reverse that, bring it back. And even the Bible talks about whatsoever things are just. Finally, my brother, whatsoever things are just, pure. If there be any virtue, he has all these listings. If there be any virtue, any praise, think on these things. In other words, keep your mind right there. Because life, stress, pandemic, social injustices, ailments, jobs disparities, racism is real. And it can have an impact on you. But you got to check in with yourself to know so that you can feel when you're off. Someone should have to tell you that you're off before you know it. You've not done a good job if the world around you sees you off and you didn't know it first. God bless you, Mother Hall. You have to be able to understand where you are, because you can't correct what you don't know is broken. You can't fix what you don't know needs fixing. So you have to be able have that self-awareness, have that check-in, have that knowledge to know who you are, where you are, what's going on, what's happening. Okay, so from that you can let that shine inward, and then it'll flow outward. Right. I hope again that this has blessed you. If you need to visit me on Facebook, I'm always available. It may not be immediate, but leave a message and I can reach back out to you. Ennoblementcenter.com. Also, check it out. Love you. I am about to roll out a YouTube channel. So I hope to see you all there. Again, please comment, like, and share. Even if you're watching this after the live has gone, please, I check this because they're going to give me a notification that a comment has been added, and I'm going to go and read it because I want to know. I want to know what I'm interested in you. Is this a blessing to you? Because we're all human and we're all on a journey. We're all onward marching. And if I see my brother or sister and they may be stuck, as we all sometimes feel and get, then I want to be able to do my part to say, hey, come on, go with me. Let's move forward. Is there something I can help you with? And if I don't have it, can I find the source that can, or the resource that can give you that? Right? So it is a wonderful thing. We are all, I want to say, even in this time, the season of what all is happening, if you watch this 100 years from now, there's still going to be something happening, but be of good courage, but take care of you, lead yourself, accept yourself, flaws and all, be okay. Because, if you are hard on yourself, that interpret comes out to others that you're hard on them. If you don't accept yourself, you don't accept others. If you are a person that's always negative, it's because you're internalizing, you are internally negative. And so you need to rework the positivity down and it'll automatically come out of you. So as a man thinking in his heart, so is he. So people always are saying you are a nasty person, that's in your heart. That is not an issue to have that. Is an issue to stay like that. You need to find where the trauma has happened that turned you that way. You need to find the source of a bitter root of bitterness and find how to pull it out, how to go seek professional help. professional help. After you get through speaking in tongues and praying, professional help. After you've done counseling with the church mother, professional help. After the pastor and the prophet have laid hands and spoken to you, receive it and receive professional help. I am Dr. David Glover. I am a psychologist. I am the owner of Ennoblement and I Like Me Initiative, an award-winning author. So I just want you to be, I'm still working. I'm a work in progress. I am still ready and willing to be made whole. But we have found ourselves in a complex situation. And because we don't recognize our own selves, we can't recognize each other. Because we don't see our own, we refuse to look and love ourselves, love our idiosyncrasies, those things that we look in the mirror and be like, oh, the things that we despise about others that usually are the mirror of ourselves. Those are the things we have to learn to embrace. And when I say embrace, don't say I'm a nasty person, that's okay. But no, this is where I am. This is who I am. And I am a work in progress. And then set up a strategy of what does that look like to be different? Use that appreciative inquiry. If I was the perfect me, what would that be like? And then work back to where I am now so I can take that first step to get to that goal of the perfect me. But if you don't have something to look forward to, you'll never go anywhere. If you don't have a goal, an end goal, why would you wake up in the morning with a press? But stay focused. Revisit those dreams. Where did they fall off? Where did they go imperfect? Love you, and then it's wonderful. You'll learn how to immediately love everybody else. You'll even see. I look back over my life on dark times and ugly moments that I was, which is a lot of them, unfortunately or fortunately. It is what it is. And it's like, if only I had learned to love myself, how much more of a pleasant person I could have been. How much more of an assistance could I have been to the kingdom, to humankind, to my sphere, wherever that was. How much more of a life? It doesn't say that my life was out, but I can promise you that I didn't have the social equity because I didn't have the EI. I didn't have the emotional intelligence to know that I suffered trauma that I hadn't been healed from. So it mentally dysfunctioned me. It gave me a mental disease, a mental illness, and anything that represented I was hurting the church. So now when I went to church, I saw church folk and my mental illness kicked up. My post-traumatic syndrome, which happens a lot in the church. Church post-traumatic syndrome disorder happens in the church. Sunday after Sunday. And we keep right on going, having episodes of the same dysfunction. I want y'all to like this and share this. I was ending, but I got just 2 more minutes of this. Because I want us to be healed. And we can't prophesy over, we can't speak in tongues over, we can't lay hands and roll on the floor over it. Because when you get up, you still need to do something about this post-traumatic stress disorder. We need to still have a conversation. You can't dance and you did not have the conversation. You cannot speak in tongues. You can't be healed adequately. You can't lift your hands and it vanishes. It does not work like that. You have to be able to confront whatever mental challenges you are having. You have to confront it. You can't sweep it under the rug, as most of us have been taught to do. You can't even confess something without going through the process of it. I am healed. Well, you still have to go through the process of the healing. Now, I do believe that God can instantaneously do things, but I know him to do through the process. It's all through the Bible, where there were instructions. Go down to the river, dip 7 times. Go down over here and wash. But there you had to take action. You had to get up, go here. There was instructions. So please, ma'am, please, sir, Understand that while you're leading, that there's not going to happen by osmosis. People just don't know your intentions. You have to create this involvement. You have to create this engagement. You have to create the culture that says, I respect all of you. And if you're having a bad day or you're being mentally challenged, because you can, it's going to impact their work. It's going to impact the whole culture. It's going to impact your whole departments and possibly organizations' future, because the contamination can be transferred. And then it becomes a new norm for that structure. So please, ma'am, please, sir, lead yourself, then you can lead others. I want you to be blessed forever. Please, again, comment, like, and share. Comment, like, and share. Till next time, be blessed.